this chapter. Okay, so today we have our vision board masterclass, and it's going to be conducted by Rin Fosa. She's a life coach, an author, a speaker, and a vision board strategist. We're so excited to have her here, and we cannot wait to get started. So thank you so much for conducting this today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Nada. Hi, everyone. Okay.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Please
Hi.
unmute. I love to have vibe in the house. Let's do a vibe check.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. I know you're back from
Hello.
work or
Hello.
something like
Hello.
that, but
Welcome.
Hello.
yes, but let us.
Hello.
So if you don't mind, put in the chat, where are you connecting from? Let's see where you're connecting from. Can you put in the chat where you're connecting from? Dallas in the house. I see my keys from Dallas. Las Vegas is in the house. Nigeria. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Dallas, Texas. Oh, looks like Dallas is winning the race here. Awesome. Nigeria. Wow. Ducanville, Texas. Awesome. Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, everybody, I'm excited to be here. I think, can you spotlight me, please? Nada?
Spotlight you.
Uh, yes. If you click on my name or okay, awesome. I don't know how it appears on your own screen. So welcome, welcome. My name is Lutaline Fossa. I go by Lulu or Coach Lua Line, and I'm a mom of three, and I am a firm believer in vision boarding. I've been teaching vision boards for about 7 years. Um, and I believe the power is a powerful, but it's a simple, powerful, but very almost like neglected thing that a lot of us we don't do. And first of all, thank you all so much. Thank you, Dr. Sidoniniba, for this amazing platform, for the vision of what this is. It represents for us as Africans, connecting one another, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, just creating a platform like this where we can network with one another, learn from one another, and blossom. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and you inspire me so much. Okay, awesome. I'm now spotlighted. You inspire me so much. I love your work and your dedication and your entire crew. Thank you all so much for this. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, and we're going to deep dive into this. I love an interactive session. So from time to time, I might do that. Sorry. Oh, I thought somebody was saying something. So let me share my screen. Okay. Permit me. Um, Continue to share. Do you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, hold
Yes.
on. Awesome. I think, did I stop sharing? Give me a second. Let me do this. So MacBook showed me Pepe today. All right. Anyway, so like I said, my name is Lucaline Fossa, and I'm very passionate about this topic because, first of all, we were probably here from different walks of life, different cultures, different backgrounds, different religion, and I respect and admire that because um, we learn best when we network from one another. But the book good of the good book of the Bible, where I'm a Christian, it talks about writing your vision and making it plain. Habakkuk 2, verse 2. As simple as that scripture is, it's very profound. It says, if you keep reading, it says, so that even a runner can see it. So if you write something and somebody can see while they're running, it means that thing is boldly written. It means that thing is well written. That thing is clear, is visible, right? Because for you to be running and see something, it means that that thing stands out. And that is why the Bible says you should write your vision and make it plain. It can't, it's like an instruction, okay, for us to do that. But I want us, before we go into this exercise, I want us to take a pause, take a deep breath, in and out, 2, 3 deep breaths, and just relax. Let your shoulders drop, feel your feet on the floor. If you have a glass of water, take a sip, whatever you need to do. I just want you to be in this relaxed atmosphere. But I want you to pause for a minute and ask yourself, where are you right now? Answer this. Where are you right now? I know we're in March. Technically, a lot of vision boards, it happens around the end of the year or the beginning of the year, but there's always, whatever time of the year is, it's always a good time for vision boarding. We're almost going to the end, the first quarter, the end of the first quarter of 2026. I would say it is an amazing time. And I want you to revisit 2025 or the past 2 months or 2.5 months of 2026. Okay? How was it for you? I'm sure if you revisit those moments, they were filled with ups and downs. Okay? But the reason I always want people to do this simple exercise is because a lot of times we will focus on the negatives. We focus on the things that happened, the things that we did not accomplish, the goals we did not accomplish, the places we did not get to visit, the child that was wayward, the things you did not do, and you forget the things that happen because your mind, our brain, once you think so much of something, you minimize, you maximize what you're thinking, and you minimize the other thing that you're not thinking. So a lot of times we focus on those things, but I want you to look at retrospect and think of the beautiful things. Just you being in this room today is a whole lot of blessing. If you want to know if you're a blessing, probably call the mortuary or call and find out how many people are not living, breathing right now. Go into the hospitals, walk through the corridors, check the ICU units. You will know that you're a blessing. Something good is happening to you right now in this space. Take your cell phone, open it up. Look at the revisit. I know Sidonie is smiling from ear to ear because she's always on the air, right? As much as that can be great, maybe there's sometimes she doesn't want to travel, right? But look at those moments where you smiled. You were with friends, you were with family, you were sitting in that restaurant celebrating a friend's birthday, eating a good dinner, or anything like that. Or you went skydiving or anything if you're an adventurous one. There's something to be thankful for. There's something that when you look at, in spite of everything, there's something to be grateful for. So 2025 may have been a hard year, or the beginning of 2026 may have been a difficult year, but there's something that is happening. So I want you to know that. There is no way we can talk about vision board. I always love to talk about identity and the power of identity, especially in a space like this where we come from a culture. If you're in Nigeria or Cameroon or Sudan, Senegal, there is something that unifies us. That if you talk to an African, it's almost like we have one mother. Okay? or we have one parent, one upbringing. I look at some kids and I'm like, oh, I felt like this was happening only in our house, and I'm like, but it was happening in somebody in Sudan or in Tanzania. I'm like, okay, something beautiful unifies us, though in different sectors or in different sections. But in those things, there is something that shaped us, and that's our identity. And there is no way, even if you are as an entrepreneur, whether you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, or you're trying to create, or you're a mother or father or anything, there is something that drives your behavior. You see, identity drives behavior. Before you talk goals, vision boards, or success, we must talk about identity, because identity is the way you see yourself, who you believe you are becoming. Okay, give me a second. I have to move this from my screen. Okay. Okay. Who you believe you're becoming and what you think you're deserving of. Okay. Because a lot of us, we come from a culture, we come from places where identity has shaped the way we view even the rooms we are supposed to be in. We don't acknowledge, we don't think we deserve to be in those rooms, because we've come from a place where, or we've heard things of, oh, you're not good enough, or nothing good can come from you, or this or this. Think about all those things. Sometimes we did not even know that those things were subconsciously building or shaping the way we see ourselves. But the way you carry yourself today is shaped by the culture, the environment, the people, the language that you grew up in. You see, identity silently drives your decision. Some people, some of us, we know we have good craft. We know we have all these good things, but in you, that good enough, I'm not good enough, is there deep down. It needs some form of exorcism for it to come out. Because even if you are given all the tools and all the resources and everyone $1 million, you will still not use it to the best that you can, because there is something that is shaping it. Some of us have started businesses and we have never finished them, because you know what? We are starters, we don't finish because we've never been taught. We have always been looked at as people who cannot complete something. Because you see, we don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall or rise to the level of your identity. That's why I will never teach vision boarding without touching on this topic, because people make beautiful vision boards. People make, I mean, you look at it, it's like, oh, it looks like the year is almost like 100%. But 2026 comes to an end and you're looking at it, it's not, you didn't even accomplish 1/4 of it, because you only rise or fall to the level of your identity. So if you see yourself as not disciplined, you will struggle with consistency. A lot of people, I love to work out. I did not start working out by starting to work out. I had, and people ask me all the time, Lulu, how do you keep, you've been working out for years. It's because I had to build a habit of discipline. I realized that consistency is something that you don't inherit. You do not learn it in school. You don't learn it. It's something that you build, and you build it through discipline. So if you tell yourself, oh, I'm not that disciplined, you will not be disciplined. If you tell yourself you're not worthy, then subconsciously, unconsciously, you block opportunities. If you tell yourself, one thing we always hear, I'm just surviving. How many of us say that? I'm surviving. I just did. I am just, you can name how many words come. That is how you block opportunities. That's how you resist growth. even when growth is in front of you. You don't even recognize it. You don't see it. But when your identity shifts, your behavior naturally, it follows. So, oops, why did it go back there? Sorry, something is happening to my computer. I think I'm not, give me a second, guys. Okay. I think we're in good. So we need to start reshaping our identity. Okay. Like I said, truth, you cannot outgrow your identity. So that is why you need to start forming. Even the Bible says, do not become, you need to be renewed. Because there are some things that you need to start reshaping, you need to start rethinking. And that is why a platform like the African Think Tank is an amazing place where you start plucking, you start networking, you start to revisit, you start to reshape and relearn. I always say that the person when you die is not the worst part of your life. It is when you stop to learn, relearn, and unlearn. So an environment like this, when you start to attend sessions with the African Think Tank or other networking sessions, other growth sessions, you begin to see, oh, you start forming different mindsets, different agendas. You begin to submerge and subdue yourself under different authorities, other different knowledge. You see that things start to shift. Because your identity is a foundation for success. It determines the goals you allow yourself to dream about. It influences how you respond to challenges, because challenges will come. How do you overcome them? A lot of us have gone through obstacles. We're still here today because we learn thick and thin back home or from the culture we come from, how to navigate those things without even knowing that we're learning skills. We're forced to learn skills. I told my kids, if I don't have gas today, I'll cook. They were like, how? I said, I'll go through the backyard, I'll pick firewood, I'll cook. But they don't know that because they only know what you've been exposed to. What you've been exposed to is what shapes you. And that's how you operate. You can have the best vision board, like I've talked about. You cannot go where you did not first see yourself. You cannot. When Dr. Cedar, I will use you, sorry, sis. I'll be using you the whole time. But before you crafted or brought this thing into fusion of the African think tank, you sat and thought about it. You saw something. You saw something, how beautiful this thing, how if people had this, and probably because you were trying to build something and you realized that you did not have it. And then you stepped into power in creating, and now we have this because you saw it. Because you see, vision starts within your mind. If your vision board shows abundance, but your identity is rooted in scarcity, you will self-sabotage. I'm sorry. You will self-sabotage. You can have, oh, I want to make 10 million naira this year. I want to do this. I want to travel the world. I want to do this. I want to build a hospital, everything. But if inside of you, you don't even see that it can come from you, sister, brother, it ain't happening. You will sit there and watch other people build what you've been dreaming of. The only difference between you and them is that they have a mindset. They have their one identity of abundance that they have, and through that, they walk through their challenges. If your vision board shows leadership, but your identity is, I'm not good enough, opportunities will come your way, and you will not be able to seize them. So let's talk about purpose and finding purpose. And I'm sure a room like this, if we could go around and talk about what is your purpose, what is this, a lot of us have so many things we'll talk about. You see, because once we understand who you're becoming, the next question is, why are you here? Because once you understand your identity, then your question is, why are you here? Why are you in this place? Not in this room. I'm not talking about you attending this on earth. What is driving you? What is driving us? What makes you? Because purpose is not just about career or your title. It's something that inside of you, you can't sleep. It's that thing that, it gives you that fuel. It gives you the momentum. Purpose is about meaning, impact, alignment. It's the reason you get up even when motivation is low. It's what gives you direction, gives direction to your goals and depth to your vision. Because you see, purpose with vision without purpose is not going to work. There must be a purpose behind your vision, because your why needs to be so big that on those days that you know what, I don't feel like doing it, I'm doing it. I don't feel like going to that meeting, you're going into that meeting. You feel like, you know what, instead I should go on a girls trip. But I don't need this girls trip because I need to save this money to start my own business. Okay? So you start seeing things differently once you have a purpose. Because without purpose, goals feels empty. Success is unfulfilling. Let me ask you guys a question. How many celebrities do you know who've committed suicide? How many celebrities do you know who have committed suicide? I know Kate Spade. So many, right? Somebody want to give me an example?
Anthony Bourdain. That's the one that shocked me.
Anthony Bourdain. We thought this guy was going all over the world, tasting food, different cultures. I'm like, I want this guy's job. He was traveling. Probably CNN was paying all the logistics, everything. And his job was just to mingle with a different set of people, taste their food, and pretend like it was good. Even maybe it wasn't good and sometimes, right? Showcase culture. I'm like, dang, I wish. But what happened to him? Kate Spade. When I came to this country, that was a brand I knew, Kate Spade. Making big, and Kate Spade felt like she was not good enough. Kate Spade that every woman was dreaming to become, and Kate Spade is telling herself that she's not good enough, and she committed suicide. So many. It doesn't only end with suicide. What about the end without everything is lost because there was not a good purpose behind it? You've seen celebrities or people, millionaires, that at the end, they lose everything. They're begging on the streets. Basketballers and all of these people. Footballers, multi-million deals, and they're homeless. Purpose. You got to have purpose, because without purpose, burnout happens faster. Without purpose, success feels unfulfilling. And purpose is actually what is supposed to make that thing you're doing fulfilling. With purpose, your vision has direction, your efforts feel worthwhile, you stay grounded during challenges. Purpose turns goal into something bigger than you. There was purpose in this organization. Building it wasn't easy. The first years weren't easy. But because there was purpose, there was direction, there was alignment. And it keeps evolving to bigger and bigger things. There was now the Ubuntu, and there are other things coming up, right? Because there was purpose. Do you see? I'm using this just as an example. Without a roadmap, your energy is wasted. Your vision should reflect more than material goals. It should represent how you feel. The reason I say this, which we're going into the vision board segment of it, is because a lot of times the vision boards that people create, when people come on one-on-one session, they want to create vision boards. We do that, and I say, go finish it, bring it, and it's almost like, and I look at it and ask them questions. They can't even answer, or they find themselves, what they wrote down, it was just bare imagination or of this lossome or idea of just something that, but it's deep down, it's not really what they can even achieve. It's not. You're building your vision on somebody else's vision. It's not going to work. Or somebody's idea, or a celebrity's thing, or something, right? Your vision should, who are you trying to impact? You first, because there is no way you can impact other people when you yourself is empty. You cannot pour out of an empty cup. Your cup has to be at least have something. Even if it's 1/4 full, it has to have something. Because you see, your life becomes more meaningful. Your vision is rooted in your purpose, which we've talked about. And your journey feels intentional. Have you ever started doing this thing? It looks so good. And then you feel like, why am I even doing this? I don't feel like doing it anymore. You don't put intention towards it because the purpose behind it was not good enough. So when people create vision boards, there are different formats, which I'm not here to pick on any format. I'm here to give you the strategies of creating a workable, meaningful, impactful, powerful vision board. Whether you choose to do it digitally or whether you choose to do it manually, whichever you choose to do, different strokes for different folks. It's not a one-size-fits-all. So your vision board is not just a collage of pictures. I love when I see, especially women, we have this tendency of making these beautiful vision boards. We have collage of pictures. We have probably dream homes. We have Range Rovers or a G-Wagon or a tall, dark chocolate husband and 3 kids by the beach. All these things. It's beautiful. It's something to look up to, right? But you have to look beyond the picture. It's not just pictures. We can have those collage of pictures, but if there's no purpose or identity or vision behind it, I'm telling you, you will put another, next year will come, that picture will still be there, nothing accomplished, okay? Telling you from experience. It is because your vision board is a visual declaration of who you are becoming and the life you're intentionally creating. So when you go and put in collages or pictures or, whatever thing, it should represent you. Not Oprah Winfrey, okay? Not somebody else. It should present you. It needs to be true to you, which we're going to talk about. Because once identity is defined and purpose is clarified, a vision board gives you the inner work form, focus, and direction. Not somebody else. I cannot take Sherry's work ethics as mine. I cannot take his vision as mine, her vision as mine. It has to be what I can do. Okay? And that is why I always say it is very important for you. If you've not, hands up, who has a vision board for 2026? Put it in the chat or say it. Let me see it. Who has made their vision board for 2026? Nobody? How many of us are here? 21 people. Okay. What 21? Nobody said they've made a vision board. Okay.
2 people.
Oh, 2 people did. Awesome. Who are those?
Oh, we have 3. Nada,
3.
Blue, and Fran.
Nada, can you take down their names for me, please? Okay.
Yes.
3 people out of 21. All is not lost, my people. I say this. There's some people who do vision boards in June. It depends. It is not a criteria to go to heaven. Promise you, it's not. It's not. So it's not. But here's the thing. That's why we're having this class. If it's some people don't do it, and they don't need to. It works great for them. Okay. But let me tell you something. There is no organization that starts a year without a vision. Every organization. That's why they have quarterly reviews and the last quarter of the year reviews so that they can plan better for the next year. Okay? And I believe a lot of us here, maybe we're entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, or we're trying to create or whatever thing. Different things bring us here. Okay? But I will challenge you to have a vision board. By the end of this class, you'll see why. Okay? Because you see, the brain responds to what it sees. I cannot, if I don't see it, before you believe it, what you become is what you believe, and it's because of what you've seen. Before you can create, before whoever made this cup, I don't know what brand this is, it's a replica of a standee, it's not a, but they probably saw something, this thing needs to have a cap on it, that way it is not exposed to germ, all of that. They thought of they saw it, they drew it before they went into the lab to create it. Because what you see is what your brain responds to. Our brains are only our brains, even if you don't draw it, have you ever sat down and just thought in your mind a whole building? It's almost like you're an architect. You see it. You see the house you want to live in, the car you want to drive in, and then now you start seeing that thing. You're driving. Have you ever thought of, let me say, you say, I think like, I want to buy a Lexus or a Range Rover, and then all of a sudden, all the cars on the road are Range Rovers. Do you think they were not there before? They were there. But it's because your mind now is so attracted. Your mind you have a picture of something that you're holding, you're beholding, that you need, you want. Now you start to see that thing. Then one day you drive into the dealership and walk away with the Range Rover. You saw it first in here. That's the power of a vision. When you constantly see something, your mind begins to recognize opportunities that align to it. It strengthens your belief that it's possible, aligns your action with that vision. Your vision board trains your brain to look for alignment instead of limitation. Instead of limitation. Maybe your business did not go well last year. Then this year, you need to have a vision for that business. What is the goal for that business? Maybe you did not do well in school last year. Maybe you have to have a goal while you're in school. You need to revisit yourselves, have a come to Jesus moment. Maybe last year you were not a good parent. You need to have a vision of the kind of parent you want to be this year. Maybe you did not save the X amount of dollars you needed last year. This year you need to have a vision of what you need to save up, what you're trying to build. Maybe that clinic or whatever did not come to fruition last year. Now this year is an opportunity to make things right. Right? Am I communicating? So
yes.
there is something if you're a nurse here, you're probably familiar with SMART goals. You see, this is an acronym that is used in nursing, but it's not limited. It is very profound. The SMART framework, which we're going to talk about, how you can now start taking your vision board, your vision, and breaking it down, because a lot of times it's not that we lack the vision, it's that we lack a manner of execution. And it's because we've not been taught how to execute, to bring down those goals in a way that it doesn't overwhelm you. You have great visions. We have great visions. But one thing that's lacking is how to execute them on a day-to-day. If 2026 is going to end with a vision, it starts by what you're doing today. It adds up. What you're doing today towards that goal for the month, for the year, for the quarter. Okay? So we're going to talk about, oops, sorry, go back. Okay. Your vision your vision, your goals need to be specific. What exactly do you want? And this is where a lot of us fall short. What is it exactly? It needs to be, there is a place for vagueness, but it has to be very minute. It needs to be clear because clarity creates power. Instead of vague images like success, what is success? What is success? Success is vague because success can mean 0.001 for the entire year, but that's not actually what you are going for. We're going for 100%. So you see, when you use words like success or let's say health, a lot of us want better health. What is better health? Do you know that health can be broken down? You can actually have, it can be quantitative. What it can have quality. Is it health in your numbers? Is it in your waistline? Is it in your is it, this is a sensitive topic for us as women, I tell you, but is it in your cholesterol? How do you feel? How much, the way you, do you want to be able to climb a fleet of stairs without sounding like somebody is following you? So when you say, I just want health, but if you just say things like that, 2026 will end and you'll still be in the same spot. Ask yourself, what does it actually look like in my life? What does this actually look like? Where, how, in what form? Break it down like that. Example, instead of more money, you can say something like, I need to consistently make this amount. You can put it, you don't have to, it doesn't mean that what you put there is what has to, there is no knife on your throat or your jugular. That is what has to happen, but it gives you a range to stay within that range. Okay? So you can say, I need this amount of income to be able to support the lifestyle that I desire. Right? So now you start looking at your job, you're like, this job is not all of it. This is not me. This is not what I was created. This is not how my life is supposed to end. There is something bigger. Okay, I need to start looking at maybe something else, getting some other certifications so I can get a better job, or maybe a side hustle, right? Instead of better health, you can say feel strong, energized, well rested, because you see, rest is something that we don't even prioritize. It's actually something that needs to be in your vision board. Specific vision give your brain something to create, something concrete to work towards. It needs to be specific. And when I say specific, if it's health, I'm going to use this. It's an old board. I brought this. When I do my vision board, like I say, I am old school. I love paper. I love to, even books. I don't like reading, listening to audiobooks. I love to still read, feel my books, flip. So I'm old school, but if not for you. When I go into writing my vision board, I break it down. I don't know if you can see this. It's broken down into different segments, whether it's spiritual, business, personal, finance, family, children, marriage, I break it down because if I just jumble everything, there's no way to fact check what is happening in some areas of my life. Because you are like that umbrella. There's an umbrella with several different spokes, but there is that thing at the top. Who knows the importance of that thing? There's that thing at the top of the umbrella. All the spokes are connected to it. Sometimes you don't even know why it's leaking. It's because there's a hole in that place. And then you start seeing water dripping. You are the sum of so many things. There's so much that you're doing. So you need to identify those things that you're connected to, or those areas of your life that bring meaning to you. That's how it has to be specific. Are you a mother? Are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Maybe you want to read your Quran or you want to read your Bible X amount of days. You want to go on a retreat. So and so. You want to go on a women's conference or a men's conference. You want to pray at least 30 minutes a day. See how I'm breaking the spiritual part? Because if I just say I want to be spiritually healthy this year, what is spiritually healthy? It needs to be broken down. In business, what is it in your business? What are the numbers? What are you looking at? What are the goals? How much sales are you trying to bring into your business? And you need to break things like that. Okay? It needs to be measurable. If it's not measurable, I'm sorry. Because measure is how you'll be making progress. There has to be a measure how you are making progress. How can you tell you're making progress? If my goal is to lose 20 pounds, let's say, how do I know I'm losing 20 pounds? Is when I climb on the scale, I need to be seeing numbers dropping down, right? Or if I want to lose inches, then I need to use a tape measure to measure my inches from time to time to see that something is working. Else, I'll be lying to myself thinking I'm eating salads, but my salad is filled with so much red meat, is filled with all the ranch dressing, and I think, oh, why am I eating salad? I'm not losing. But it is not, because you need to have some degree of to measure, to quantize things. Because measurement brings momentum. Let me ask, I use this a lot. Women, those of us trying to lose weight or you're trying to get healthy. When you start your weight loss journey and you climb on the scale and you see 2 pounds, I promise you, you try everything for that 2 pounds not to come back. Am I lying? Because you've been able to measure it, right? Your vision board should be able to track progress and not just dream. Not just, I want to have this, but what is the progress? What progress are you making towards that goal, that specific goal? How will you recognize growth? How do you recognize growth? Upward projection, but what are you using to track it? So how do you see it? Okay, today I'm working on my website. If you're trying to build a website, maybe a clothing brand. Okay, I need to be doing this. What are you doing to see that at the end of X amount of months, that thing is finally up and running? Because if you cannot measure that progress, if you cannot see it happening, at the end, you will discover that 2027, you will still be in the same spot. So you can say, for example, like working at frequency, I want to work out 3 days a week. That is measured. That is how you can measure, not that I want to be healthy. I want to work out, but put a time, put a number, 3 days a week. That way, if it's Friday and you have not even started, you know you have to work out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you're a disciplined person. But you know, that is how you become disciplined. That is how you learn to be consistent when you cannot cheat yourself from the things that you're supposed to be doing for yourself. Milestones, it can be milestones, launch or certifications or saving, like you said. Measurable goals gives momentum because progress becomes visible. Progress becomes visible when they are measurable, and then achievable. Oh, my people, I don't know how to say this one. You see, a lot of us, especially us immigrants or Africans, like I said, we build our dream on some lofty idea of somebody else's backyard, on somebody else's budget, on somebody else's mindset, somebody else's identity, not yours. Is this something, ask yourself, is this thing I'm dreaming, is this something I can achieve? Is this something that Lulu, you can achieve? Not what Nada is doing, not what Sidonie is doing, not what Tega is doing. Can you achieve it? Sit with your own self, have a come to Jesus moment with your own self. And ask yourself, Is this achievable? Is this aligned with my current season? My people, it can be this season is not the season. It might be what you're planning is for 5 years, because you still have a lot of work to do before you get to that point of achieving that thing. Or it's for June, it's not for March. It's a October goal and not a January goal. It's a September goal and not a March goal. It might be. Achievable does not mean small. It means realistic and aligned. Ask, is this possible with effort and commitment? With your own effort and your own commitment. I'm reading a book. It's funny because that's still the book, my first book of the year. I've not finished it. I'll use myself as I'm not done with that book, but I wanted for it to be done. I had to sit with myself and say, Lulu, based on what you're doing, you're not able to finish this book by now. And it's okay. Because you see, vision, goals can be, you can modify them. You have to be realistic where you find yourself in that season. Are you parenting young children that you're still changing diapers? The girls' trip, it might not be for you. Because you know what? You don't have a babysitter. You don't want to break the bank to go find a babysitter to go on a girl's trip. It might not be. Is it achievable? Does this respect my current responsibility? Because you see, a lot of times we don't bring this and capacity. Don't choke yourself because you want to be like the Joneses. You want to look like somebody else. You want to be doing something that somebody else. So maybe that what they are doing, they have taken 10 years of their life to do that. And now because you just recently knew them, or you want to be in that season, you don't know the shoes they wore to get to that point. Your vision board should not stretch, it should stretch you, not overwhelm you. If you come to a point where your goals are overwhelming, there's a problem. It was not well written, it was not well crafted, it was not well thought of. Achievable goals build confidence and consistency, which fuels long-term success. Because you see, there are some goals that are 12 months, 24 months, 5 months goal, right? 5 years goal. But if they're achievable, you'll see that by the end of the time, you achieve it because you've broken them down to the current season, what you're doing piecemeal in that season, not what somebody else is able to achieve.
Coach,
realistic.
We have only about 7 minutes left.
7 more minutes. Okay, 7 more minutes. So we're almost wrapping up. It needs to be realistic. It needs to be realistic to you. This is very important. Does it reflect who you're becoming? Are you connected? Is it connected to what you're trying to achieve? What is that thing, that business you're building? Is it realistic? Does it align with your identity? Are you choosing you? Not for comparison, no pressure from anyone. If a goal isn't relevant, it becomes a distraction. I've seen where people make goals that were not realistic, and it becomes instead a distraction for them. It becomes a place of frustration, a place of depression, anxiety, and it needs to be timed. What is the time frame you're giving for that goal? Because time will make you prioritize. Like I said, is it 3 months? Is it 4 months? Is it 2 years? But if you don't have a time frame, please have a time frame on your goals, because that time stamp will make you work. It will make you wake up. It will make you prioritize. It will make you stay accountable. But you see, your environment is very important. Who are you keeping around you? Are they fanning your flame, or are they pouring water on it? This is key to any goal, any vision. It is key. You want to build a big dream, but the people you're talking to, the people you keep around you, are naysayers. They are, oh, this one, now you think you're this. Now this one, sis, shifter. There's something called a sieve, eh? You need to sieve. You need to shifter. We call it shifter. Shifter. Because you cannot outgrow if you keep those people around you. You need to. Who are you keeping? Because your energy. Because sometimes the people, they are the ones that will even give you the momentum. Tell you, you know what, Tega, you can do it. I believe in you. You've done this before. I see you doing it. You can't give up. So who is around you? Social environment influences how your decisions, how you plan, where you're going, who you are becoming. Spend time with yourself and ask yourself, maybe the reason you're not where you are is because of people around you. But also, let me be the bad one here. Maybe it's because of you, because you are also not a good influence to other people. So you see, you attract what you're becoming. When you're becoming the people, you see that the people that are coming around you are attracted to the person that you're becoming. So sometimes we go around, we're blaming other people. It's because, sis, bro, you're not also. So why do you want a positive environment when you yourself, you're full of so much negativity? Okay? Well, we've talked about this. So motivation on hard days comes from the truth you're telling yourself. Revisiting your vision board. When you create your vision board, I always say, and before I wrap up, when you go on creating your vision board, if I'm doing my vision board, I have two. I have what I call the doing and the done. I love my stickies. I love to have stickies because every sticky represents something for me. I put it under whatever, if it's spirituality, I have one for those. And I have the done board. I like to peel off and put it completed. The done board is a completed, it's an empty board I don't use. So imagine how your brain sees it when you peel things and start putting. You start seeing that, oh, this board is completed. Things are peeling off. So when you create your vision board, I want you to create it, move things so you keep, there's clarity so that there, you can see, oh, this has been done. This is halfway done. I need to be focused on this, okay? So, and you need to break them. Whether it is a month goal, like I said, break them into little goals, okay? So this is, Howard, I'm gonna end with, please, if you have not done your vision board for the year, do it. It will help you. It will keep you on track. It will build momentum and it will make you stay focused. Thank you all very much for the opportunity.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Coach Lutherline. This was such an amazing session. I hope everyone is walking away feeling more grounded in their identity, feeling more clear, and prepared to execute on their goals.
Nada, do we have time for questions?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
if y'all have a few questions, you
I have
can.
one, which is something that, I struggle with sometimes is, like you were saying, Coach, coming from where we come from, there's a lot of unlearning that has to be done. How would you recommend that our community takes, how do we unlearn, right? Like, what are some things that you would recommend as we build this new identity and we build this audacity mindset? Are there resources that you would recommend that we can take advantage of? And the reason I say that is there's a lot of noise that really tries
Mm,
to teach us what we're not. And so we have to be intentional about finding things that are actually empowering to our identity. So what recommendations do you have for us who need to do that unlearning, and where can we find those resources to really reinforce our identity?
So that's a really great question, Doc. Um, First of all, for you to unlearn or learn, you have to even identify that there's a need to learn and unlearn. If you don't identify, then there is no way you can even go about finding those resources of learning and learning. And that comes, there's so many, we live in a knowledge packed century right now, or society right now. There is so much that you can use. There's so much that you, whether it's on social media or, but what are you, who are you, who you're becoming or what you're trying to learn. Somebody gave me, I think it was a sister. She took my Instagram. She was like, "Hey, your Instagram is so different from mine." I was like, "Why?" She's like, "I hear a lot of coaches, motivation, spiritual things, business, but mine is politics. Hers is politics, and all of that." You know why? Because the algorithm knows what you're looking for, right? So the way what you're looking, you have to intentionally go and source those things. If you go on YouTube, I'm telling you, there's so many, you don't even need to be buying books sometimes, because some of us buy books, we don't even read them. You can find resources on YouTube. You can find resources on Instagram. There's so many on podcasts while you're doing dishes or you're doing your evening walk. You can be, and let me tell you, these are things you just put it on, you discover that there's some clicking in the brain, there's some unwiring that's happening inside of you that you did not even, you start being attracted to some different kind of people, different kind of noise, because there is noise, like you said, there is that noise, so much that is going on, and you start seeing yourself being attracted and being exposed to those things. So if you want books, there are so many books, and it depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for to learn business? Are you looking for motivation? Are you looking for self-esteem, or are you looking for what gender related? It depends on what anybody is looking for, but there's so much. If anybody needs something in specific, I can share, they can reach out to me and I can share some of those resources that pertaining to whatever they're looking for. But there's so much going on out there that you can use without even breaking the bank. And
Thank you.
also, who you're connected, things like this, communities like this, the communities you're belonging to,
Mm.
ding, 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 is important. Find communities that are like-minded communities that you're trying to become, you're trying to learn from. Those communities will help you, because in here you learn things. Like if you're in African think tank, you've learned about vision boarding today. Maybe they'll bring somebody, another expert from something. Those are the beauty. That's the beauty of being in communities like this. You didn't get to pay for it, but you have knowledge now.
Speaking of paying for it, not I soliciting some donations, not we're
Yeah.
always soliciting.
Yes, thanks again, so everyone for joining. If you gain a lot of value from this session, we encourage you to please consider donating to the African think tank. The donations help us with operating costs and also to be able to bring more sessions like this. So thanks again. Please consider donating, and I hope you all have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nada. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.